Hello everybody, my name is Simranpreet Kaur and I am from Ludhiana. I am an intern at Nyayavani Foundation. Today I'll be talking about censorship and right to freedom of speech and expression. So when I talk about censorship and right to freedom of speech and expression, there is a case that lingers on in my mind, that is Bobby Art International versus Ompal Singh Hoon. There was this movie called Bandit Queen which went from authorization of CBFC to Supreme Court. Bandit Queen was basically based upon a village girl who was raped and brutalized, and she eventually joined a violent criminal gang to take revenge upon society. So this movie was taken up by censor board and it was given an A certificate. That is, it was only restricted to adults, but there has to be certain modification, amendments and deletions. But because of these conditions, it was not fulfilling the role or the message they wanted to give to the society. So they went for the appellate tribunal. The appellate tribunal allowed the movie to screen, but gave it an A certificate like a central board. So the movie was eventually made available to the people of India on 25th January 1996. There was this person called Ompal Singh who was viewing the movie in the theatres, and he went to the Delhi High Court with a writ and stated that his right, Article 14, 19, 20, 21 were being violated because on the grounds that the way the movie is representing the womanhood of India was very disgusting and unethical. Also, the way his community is being represented is very degrading and lowering his self-esteem in the society. So the Delhi High Court stated that the movie has to be sent back to the censor board and there has to be certain cuts that are to be made. There has to be certain amendments. Modification and deletion of scenes. Only then can the movie be given an A certificate, then can the screening be allowed. So Bobby Art International went to Supreme Court. So the main issue that came before the Supreme Court was whether the graphic nudity and obscenity in the film was a sufficient reason to justify the infringement of Bobby Art's freedom of expression. So Justice Barucha was the one who gave the judgment of two bench judges. He noted that it would be wrong to classify sex as essentially obscene or even indecent or immoral. It was not the element of rape, leprosy, sexual immorality that should be censored, but rather that how the theme is handled by the producers determine the need for restriction. He also stated that the only permissible restriction to the right of freedom of expression protected by Article 19 of the Constitution are those permitted by Article 19 itself. The guidelines given to the censor board are broad standards, and that when the theme is of social relevance, it must be allowed to prevail.